This week in comic books and Superman and Imperious Lex, we get Plato's allegory of the cave in reverse. In the land of Marvel, we mix magic and science and crabgrass, and we try to tell a story. And in Indies, this week we get, I don't really know how to describe it. Nuclear blast equals time travel? All that and more right after the intro. Hey, what's going on, you wonderful weirdos? I'm Pocan Joe, and as always, you're pretty cool for swinging by. And also, thank you to all the new subscribers out there. We've had a flush of just subscriptions lately, and thank you for that, and the thumbs up, and the comments, and everything. Definitely, I appreciate it. But without further ado, let's jump into this week's comic books from New Comic Book Day. We're going to jump right into... Future State is still telling its Imperious Lex and Superman story here. And this is kind of interesting because we're playing political games, right? Lex doesn't want to lose control of his people, but they're starting to find out that, well, he's kind of incompetent. And Lex literally says in it, doesn't matter what the truth is, doesn't matter what the reality is, it's the story we can tell. And he references Plato's cave allegory in it, where the people are looking at the shadows in a cave, and when reality is going on behind them. And I thought that was really cool. It was really smart writing. I really am kind of enjoying this. I don't know how much. I don't know if there's going to be another issue for this. I can't imagine it going much farther because Imperious Lex and his little robot thing. Also, his little robot thing has to decide of what love is. You know, does he love his creator, or is he just programmed to do it? That's always a classic thing to do inside of comic books when a robot's involved. So they kind of touch on that in here, but they didn't get all weird with it. Like, it was just like an affectionate puppy at best. That, and he looks like Wally. Remember Wally? Okay. Silk came out this week. Silk number 1. If you're not familiar with Silk, it's a Korean female spider person. Best way to put it. And this one, and I don't know why writers are doing this. This seems to be a thing that they're doing, especially with female characters. They have to constantly remind us of a certain point every other page. In this one, it was, she was in a bunker by herself for like 10 years or something like that, right? That is like fed to us like 4 times in this. And I was like, yeah, we get it. And it's always like this tongue-to-cheek thing that they always... Anyway, our character here, Silk, is working for J. Jomason and kind of working at the media company, but kind of working in the old school. They actually call it the analog section, where it's just a newspaper that gets printed on top of all the social media stuff that they do for them clicks. They have a quick conversation, and Jonah hires her to be a bodyguard, basically. Well, Silk, her alternate ego, to be a bodyguard. That was pretty much the setup for our next story here, but this is going to turn into a detective story before anything else. This isn't your regular action comic. It's more detective-based, mystery, who's behind, the thuggings and all this other stuff going on. So I like a good detective story. I'll probably pick up some more of this. Next, Beta Ray Bill came out. First off, hats off to the writer for referencing several 80s/90s movies. I say that because in the background, when the TV's on in this, while his character's on his ship or in his room or whatever, Peter Pan's on, the one with Robin Williams, and they're doing the Rufio. That's happening. And the whole thing kind of reminds me of Flight of the Navigator. I don't know if anybody remembers that movie out there. Please let me know if you did. Don't let me be alone on this one. But Beta Ray Bill kind of has this ship, right? It has this computer with the one eye that kind of talks to him and stuff, right? That happens in here. But what this really is, the story of this is the whole belief of an alpha male, beta male, yada, yada, yada. And in this one, being Beta Ray, he kind of got screwed over by Thor. A lot of people getting screwed over by Thor, and Thor's just trying to do the right thing, but the negative effects are affecting other people. In this one, he can't change back to his regular form. He's constantly the horse-faced dog-looking thing here. And it's really kind of affecting him, right? So what does that have to do with beta males? So in this case, a beta male is usually the friend or the right-hand man of an alpha male, right? And in the category of Beta Ray here, he's kind of always been the right-hand man and loyal person to Thor. Yeah, they fought before, but there's always the "I don't want to fight you," speech thing that happens. And this one, he's kind of seriously having a problem with Thor. So I kind of want to see that flesh out a little bit because you just shouldn't be able to do right or wrong, do whatever you want if it has a lasting negative effect on everybody around you, right? Because then what good are you really doing in the sense of community, right? Thor's been kind of doing that lately. So we're starting to get that story starting to flesh out in here. I think I'm going to like and get some more of that. Next, live number ones this week. Next, Avengers: Curse of Man-Thing. So if you're not familiar, there was over in X-Men, the newer run, there was a group of old ladies that did science things with plants, right? And they were all interested in cocoa plants and everything else. Well, whatever. In this one, their outcome of all their study and research is to create this being, a female, who can manipulate plants and uses magic to kind of do it too, and kind of shut down Man-Thing here, and then puts spores of mushrooms throughout Earth to kind of infect and then burn everybody. And of course, the Avengers have to kind of fight this scenario. It's weird. It's a hard story to track because they say a lot of things. And it's all just word salad, no pun intended with the vegetation story. But it's all just goobly gawk, da-da, action. And it just kind of drops you off there. And it's just kind of off-putting in the sense of a storytelling. Also, you don't get a lot of Man-Thing in it. We know he's coming back. You can't kill Man-Thing. But, other than him getting it handed to him by this female, it would have been kind of cool to see, something else Man-Thingy in it. That would have been cool. Next, Ghost Rider number one. Marvel's really kicking it with the number ones this week. If you haven't been following the Ghost Rider story, this is not going to make sense to you. So at one point, Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, is the king of hell, right? And then demons escape, and he's got an issue with Mephisto, who was the king. So all in all, the outcome in this book is him and his stepbrother, Danny Ketch, who's now Death Rider. So we got Ghost Rider, Death Rider. They're going to be working together to fight symbiotes. That's the King in Black tie-in to this. Mephisto's back on the throne, and there's always this problem of Lilith out there, a demon who wants to take over hell, the mother of demons, if you will. She wants to take over hell. So we know that storyline is going to flush out later on. This was just kind of to pull Ghost Rider kind of back into our world instead of just constantly having down in hell losing his mind. Or at least that's what I got from it. If you got something different from it, let me know below, because I felt like this should have been a more deeper story, because it just kind of dropped off one story arc in the middle of nowhere with nothing to it, and then now we're going to go launch off. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of this Death Rider character. It just looks ridiculous. It's one of those blind helmets and the oversized sword character. It looks like something from Final Fantasy. It looks like something from Final Fantasy. Not like the cool Final Fantasy, but the old stuff. Yeah. Next, Department of Truth came out this week. So we've been getting a lot of backstory. And rightfully so, because this is very complicated story when it first launched off. In this one, we find out that our tinfoil hat wearing scientist, literally, we find out why he wears a tinfoil hat. And we get this great little story about Men in Black and aliens and all this other stuff kind of shoved into here, because the whole concept is if enough people believe in something, there's a group out there that can make it reality, right? So Men in Black, that's a conspiracy theory that goes out there, or maybe it's a real thing. I don't know. I've never seen them. But to kind of force feed that into here, and of course there's nefarious terms to everything that happens. So this is interesting. I don't know if I'll be reading it too much longer, because I'm really kind of want to get back to the story. Not, at this point, I don't care about the backstory of the characters, but there's at least 4 more characters we're going to have to get backstories to. So we'll see what happens there. Next, Nuclear Family. So I like this. This is kind of, it's campy. It's 1950s campiness, right? Back when, even before 1950s, where we kind of just goofing around with splitting atoms and the effects and what could happen and yada, yada, yada. And they always do space travel or dimensional portals or even time travel. And that's what we get in this one. We jump ahead after the bombs drop 10 years into the future, where it's a totally dystopic America or world apparently, where the Russians and the U.S. drop bombs on each other, and everybody thinks his family's Russian spies at that, and of course they're not. They're just from like 10 years prior. And they remember the Milwaukee, of all random places to pick, but okay, I'll go with it. And like this new civilization is out there, and they're like, "You, what are you? Are you spies? We don't understand what's going on." So right now, it's the "how did this happen" phase of the story. Didn't really flush it out too well. Just came to the realization that they're 10 years in the future, and the whole thing with the house traveling too, and the soldiers not realizing it, and they think they're commies. It's campy. It's 1950s science campy is the best way to put it, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for some more of it. Last but not least, crossover. So I'm not up to speed on everything that Image has ever put out. So a lot of the characters in here and a lot of the storyline I get a little lost in. Now, if you're a fan of God Country, or if you're just a fan of just Images alone, you'll really like this. You'll pick up on the hints and the storylines that they reference and stuff like that. Me, I tend to get a little lost in this stuff. But I don't want to take away from the overall story in this about how false flag operation happens and a war kicks off. And that's basically what we have in here. Normal people made their own superheroes or villains, whatever you want to call them. Doesn't really matter at this point. The dome is still protected. They got to get through the dome to get the little girl in there. And Ava. We finally get a glimpse of her superpower, like how immense it can really be in this. So that was really cool. Like, they hinted towards it, but they actually showed us in here. And it was really cool and definitely good. So I'll probably read some more of this, but I don't know how much longer. Like, they got to start wrapping this up. It's got to start going somewhere. So crossover number 5. Good stuff. So that's my haul this week. What else is going on? We're working on the next project from the Evil Lair. I think we're going to kind of build something that kind of messes with perception, right? Or kind of deal with magic, if you will. That should be fun. Also, don't forget Blaster Stash at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday night, right here on YouTube. Myself, Spectacular Spider Grandpa, Huey's Comics. We're all going to kind of get on the YouTube here, and we're going to talk about comic books, what we liked about them, what we didn't. We really want to see you there. That would be really cool. We have a chat going on. You can tell us what you think about your comic books. Just a cool place where we can all just talk comics. Have a great time. This is a short one, guys. I got to roll. So thanks for swinging by. Again, thank you for all the new subscribers, and the views have been crazy lately. And all you cats in South Africa, as I look at my analytics, thank you. Like, you guys are like a huge portion of a lot of this. So thank you. That's really cool of you guys. All right, guys, I got to fly. Bye.